Hello, this is Dr. Kamani, licensed clinical psychologist. I need help. I'm speaking to Black women in toxic jobs. I need help. I've heard that so many times, not only in terms of the Black women that I work with, but also in the comments to my video. I'm also speaking to a video that I saw, an outstanding video by Marissa Price, in which she talked about no job is worth your life. And she talked about some very serious issues. And I wanted to come on because my dear friend Colette Elizabeth and I did a video recently talking about that we're both Black women who are survivors of toxic jobs. We're healing, and to give you that sense of encouragement and know that you can heal and thrive too after leaving a toxic job. But I wanted to come on because of the comments that I've seen in terms of on my other videos, and also the video that I did with Stephanie Perry, in which she interviewed me about Black women leaving toxic jobs. So I wanted to speak to leaving a toxic job is a process. Many of us don't wake up one day and just say, I'm out. It is a process. There's a lot that's involved with that. So I wanted to talk about that process and to say, if you need help, I wanted to talk to you about that because sometimes there have been situations where Black women have shared about having thoughts of harming themselves because of a toxic job. That is extremely serious. And I don't want people to feel ashamed if you're having that experience or feeling like they shouldn't tell anybody or anything. Okay, I want to come on and just say I understand that many Black women have expressed this. Marissa Price talks about it in terms of her own experiences and her own struggles with this. So I just wanted to just be real that you may need help and you may be somewhere in that continuum where you might need immediate help. So as I talked in the video that Colette Elizabeth and I did this weekend, in terms of when you are in immediate danger, things to do. Okay, so I'm going to definitely cover that. But I also want to say that this is more common than you might think. So you might think, oh, well, that doesn't really happen to people. If you're watching this video, you probably have either experienced this and or you know of a Black woman who has. So it's very common. So again, I talked to Colette Elizabeth in the video that we did in relation to Black women healing from toxic jobs, and she talks about get out. So resources, but immediately what I want you to say is if you recognize that you need help, get the help. Get the help. If you are thinking about harming yourself, get the help immediately. And what I mentioned and what I'm going to say again here is if you're in immediate danger, please go to the nearest emergency room. You can also contact the police. I know people have issues with the police. You can let them know this is a mental health emergency. There's also 988. You can dial 988 on your phone. You can call and or text. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So again, I just wanted to say I need help could range in terms of I'm so unhappy at this job, to I dread waking up, to I am all consumed with this job. I can't think about anything else, to I can't see myself or I define myself in relation to the job and I don't see a life outside of the job. Okay. So you may be somewhere on that continuum, but still you know that you need help. And what I want to say also is that when we need help, sometimes as Black women, we will do this. I know I've done it myself, and my clients have done it too. We will lie to ourselves and say, I can stick it out. I'm going to fight them. I'm going to stick it out until I'm going to try to wait like 2 years until, like, we'll do all of these different things, even though we know the job is toxic. And I just want to mention that Stephanie Perry just talked about this in her video about career break, now what? So she talks about Black women taking a career break. And she was saying, I think somebody had written a comment or something, and they said, oh, I can retire in a couple of years. And she was just saying to the person, sis, just I encourage you to reevaluate that because when we're in a toxic environment, Toxic means poison. So that means that that poison in that environment is going to seep into your body some kind of way. Okay, you can't protect yourself from the toxicity. So that's why when I talk about how to help Black women, I emphasize that I'm here to help Black women who are ready to leave a toxic job. So you may not be ready to leave immediately. You may not even be ready to leave within a year, but you know that you need to go. Okay. So these are the Black women that I'm talking to. So Black women who are in a different situation in which they say to themselves, I'm not ready yet. I just want to stay. I'm going to try to stick it out. I'm going to try to wait for retirement. I'm going to try to wait for my child to graduate from high school or college or whatever it might be. When we do that, just like Stephanie Perry said to that woman, she said, sis, you are in a poisonous environment. When we are around poison, when we're around toxicity, the toxicity impacts us. It gets into our system, okay? So I encourage you or I invite you to think about in what ways is the toxicity from your job impacting you? So is it impacting you physically and or is it impacting you psychologically? So there's different ways to tell if it is. And people have asked me, well, how do you define a toxic work environment? And I say that it's different for every person. But when you recognize that your work environment is causing you harm, that's a blanket definition. Okay. So it may look different for different people. For me, it was I dreaded going to work. I dreaded it. I had to kind of give myself a pep talk before I would get out the car. I would mask all day at the job, just trying to like push through. But I still did a good job. And you probably are doing a great job at your job too. But it's still taking a toll on you. And even thinking about when you leave the job, are you still thinking about the job? I did a video talking about what is the cost of the job and how much time are you spending in relation to thinking about that job. So is a job the defining feature of your life? And thinking about when you leave the job and come home, are you still thinking about the job? Is it impacting how present you are in your family, how present you are in relation to your friends? Because you're still thinking about that job. How many of you are talking to your friends so much? Your friends know about all the people, all the bullies, all the toxic people at your job. They know them. They know them. And they're like, they're done. They're like, oh my gosh, please, you know, please leave. Okay. So recognizing to what degree the job is taking over your life. So again, when you're in a toxic job, you know it's toxic. As again, I briefly gave a blanket definition of what a toxic job is. But when you're in a toxic job, you know for yourself, nobody else can tell you. You know when you need help. And I've had Black women reach out to me saying they need help. Okay. So again, I just want to come on and talk to you and say, I understand, I've been there. And to also say that when you say I need help, it can be on a continuum. But no matter where you are on the continuum, my hope for you is that you take the time to take care of yourself and you start making an exit plan. And that when you think about resources that are available to help you, I also hope that you have an open hand and you're open to really exploring these resources. What I have seen sometimes is that we get into this fear mode and we get into this social programming, right? So we've been programmed as Black women. You know, we go to work, we do well, we'll go to school, get a good job, we work there, we do very well, we retire, right? We've been all programmed that way, okay? And so when we challenge that, when we say, wait a minute, this is not working for us, we often get a lot of backlash from other people around us, family, friends, other people. And I did a video about this in response to what Colette Elizabeth said in her other video, in which she was talking about people were saying to her, oh, girl, don't let them run you out. Okay. I heard the same thing. Don't let them run you out. But I had to say to myself, run me out from where and to what expense? What is this costing me? And what benefit will it be for me to continue to fight a system that's rigged? Because when you're in a toxic environment, the whole system is toxic. Okay. So what's the point of keep fighting? What am I fighting for? And is it worth my life? Is it worth my family? Is it worth all these different things? And I would say, no, it's not. Okay. So you decide that for yourself. But again, when I say there's resources available to you, and I want to let you know, that's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I'm talking so much about Black women leaving and healing from toxic jobs, is that I want you to see me. I want you to see other Black women. And I want you to know that you can leave, you can heal, and I don't want you to just hear from me, okay? I want you to see from other Black women. But I also want you to be able to hear my story, hear Colette Elizabeth's story, hear S. Emery Archer's story, hear our stories and my guests, and be open minded. Be open minded in terms of even thinking about the resources. Please stop yourself if you start going into this fear, this immediate fear response that I've seen in some of the comments also of, oh, you're just telling me to leave my job and I'm gonna be homeless. That is a fear response. Okay. I'm not telling you, no one is telling you to immediately leave your job unless you are an immediate danger to yourself in some way. Okay. What I'm saying is explore, be aware of, and explore the resources that are available to you to help you leave and heal. Because the healing process doesn't just finish once you leave a toxic job. I would say it actually really starts once you leave the toxic job because if you're constantly being beat down, right? So if you're being scarred every time you go into the work environment, you cannot heal. Okay. So the healing really starts once you leave. And in terms of resources and thinking that, oh, I'm gonna be all good once I leave. No, you won't. Okay. So again, I'm a toxic job survivor. I'm still healing, but I'm in a much better place than I was before. So again, resources, be open to the resources. If you are saying to yourself, I need help, and I am intentionally doing this recording on a Sunday because Sundays were so challenging for me because I knew Monday morning I had to go back to that toxic place where I was being demoralized and disrespected and so many other things, which you may relate to. Okay. So I just want to share resources available to you. And I also want to encourage you to watch the videos that I just talked about. So Colette Elizabeth, in terms of our discussion in which we talked about our healing journeys, and we were talking about some of the comments that we see to our videos, okay? And also Marissa Price, in which she talked about no job is worth your life. And that's, I completely agree. And also in terms of, I've shared my own story about leaving a toxic job with Stephanie Perry and Glamazzini. So both of them, so Stephanie Perry's was Black Women Leaving Toxic Jobs, and also Glamazzini interviewed me as well. I talk tidbits about my own story because it's traumatic. It really is, okay? So I tell it in portions, like on my channel, and then I do talk about it more at length. But I encourage Black women, if you want to know more about my story, to check out those videos, okay? Because it's very difficult for me to keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so again, if you want to know more about my story and why I started this YouTube channel and why I continue to talk about this, is that so many Black women have reached out to me and said, me too, me too, me too. Okay, so many of us who have been harmed and who are still harmed. So again, if you're watching this video and you saying to yourself, I need help, please be open. Okay, please be open. I'm sharing resources with you. So please be open. You can decide to follow up on them or not. Okay. So, in terms of resources, the first thing I want to say to you to help you be open is that you need to pause and listen to yourself. Listen to what you are saying to yourself. What is your soul saying to yourself about how you are feeling about your life and your job? Okay. Then that will determine the urgency in which you move forward. Okay, so that's the first thing. I've also talked about if you can take a leave of absence, please take a leave of absence so you can get some break from the beat down. Okay, some break because then you'll be able to get some rest and you'll be able to think clearly about what you need to do for yourself and for your family. Okay. Now, there's also therapy. So I'm a therapist. I strongly suggest that you look into therapy because therapy provides you with a safe space to be able to honestly talk about what your experiences are, to reality test about what's going on with you, to have an opportunity to challenge situations in which you might be self-gaslighting yourself. So I know Marissa Price talks about that on her YouTube channel. Marissa Price and I talked about it on my YouTube channel. So again, self-gaslighting can be very harmful because you are being gaslit in that work environment. But what's really harmful is when you start self-gaslighting yourself. You're internalizing that and you're starting to question yourself. So therapy provides an opportunity for you to address all those issues. And if your job is reminding you of other traumas in your life, as that happened to me, therapy provides an opportunity for you to recognize those triggers and recognize ways that there are those parallels and help you so that you can start healing, right? So I remember I said that the healing doesn't really jumpstart until you leave, okay? But it can help you and it can help you recognize that you deserve better. Okay. Then there's coaching. So, coaching provides an opportunity for you to meet with someone and work with someone who has a similar experience as you and can see where you're trying to go and can give you a roadmap to how to get there. So, they will give you the steps. But sometimes you might need therapy and coaching because it's not the same thing. Okay. So if you are experiencing some mental health challenges, you're experiencing profound sadness, anxiety, trauma reactions, you need therapy. Okay. So you may do therapy and coaching, but please don't go to a coach expecting the coach to help you work through the mental health challenges. Okay. So please access those resources. Now, if you're trying to find out how to find a therapist, I know many Black women, we want to see or work with another Black woman. Okay, so I have a video on my YouTube channel. I'll put that in the description section as well about how to find a Black therapist. Okay, so we are out here. Okay, so again, coaching, if you're looking for a Black woman coach, as Emery Archer, the anti-HR lady, has a Black women's coach directory. So I'll put that in the description section as well on YouTube. And lastly, I want to just share, I mentioned this before, that as Emery Archer, the anti-HR lady, and I are collaborating on a masterclass. So the masterclass is called Save Yourself, Channel Your Inner Harriet, because we got an inner Harriet, okay? Channel your inner Harriet so that you can leave that toxic, hostile job with your sanity and your coins, okay? So that masterclass is a two-part masterclass. The first part deals with how to get ready to leave, and the second part deals with now that you've decided to leave, what are the things that you need to keep in mind? Okay. So Anne-Marie is going to talk about more of the HR perspective. I'm going to be talking about the psychological perspective. But through this process, through this masterclass, you will be able to come in. You may need help, right? You clearly need help if you are coming to the masterclass, okay? But it's a resource that's available to you. Okay, so the resource helps you in terms of if you're feeling defeated, you're feeling like there's no way out, you dread waking up, you crying on your way to work, you crying leaving work, you think about work all weekend, all of that, if that's you and you ready to go, the masterclass is for you. Because by the end of the masterclass, you will be able to see that number one, you deserve better, but you'll be able to follow up on practical tips that we give you so that you can work through that fear. Because I know fear keeps us stuck. It's a horrible feeling, right? So it keeps you like stuck, like you're in mud, like you're like in quicksand. Okay, so the masterclass will help you get unstuck. You will get unstuck in terms of what kind of things, in terms of processing psychologically, to work through that trauma that you have gone through or that you are going through, and it will give you the practical tips in terms of to prepare to exit. So what do you need to do in terms of documentation? What do you need to say to our HR if you choose to go there? How do you get your coins? How do you get your money? Okay. So all these things will be available to you. Okay. So the masterclass is June 27th and 28th. It will be live. I do want to briefly speak to this because I have heard of this and it's so disturbing. So, as I've talked before, Colette, Elizabeth, and I, we're friends, and we talk a lot about these different things. But we talk about ways that jobs mirror plantations. Okay. So, sometimes we may have a degree of fear if our employer finds out in any way that we're planning to leave. So I've heard that Black women have said they're concerned about posting on LinkedIn, they're concerned about posting my videos, all these different things. The fear, okay? They're like slave catchers. So Anne Marie and I have worked around that, okay? So the master class, you need a meeting ID and a meeting link. So we know everybody coming in. The other thing is that the way it's set up, nobody will see you. It's Zoom, but nobody will see you the way it's set up. And if you want to share, if you want to say things, you can use a different name. You can type in a different name on Zoom, okay? You know how to change your name on Zoom. So those are options available for you. So again, if you need help, you're watching this video and you say, oh, I need some help. Okay. If you need help, I'm telling you that help is there for you. There's help for you. Okay. There's resources open for you, available to you, but you got to be open. You can't just go in and be like, nah, no, don't challenge all the resources available to you. Oh, that's not going to work because that's not going to help you. It's going to keep you stuck and unhappy. I don't want you to be that way. I don't want you to be unhappy. I want you to know and I want you to live a life where you're not only surviving every day, you are thriving. So you can leave. I'm telling you, you can leave and you can not only survive, you can thrive. Okay. Just don't be mindful of who you tell this to, right? So if you are feeling this way, I need help, I dread going to work, and you're talking to people around you, and they're like, girl, you better stay there. Girl, you're going to end up homeless. Please limit your contact or not tell them all your business. Okay. Surround yourself or seek resources for people who believe in you and believe and know that there's better for you. Okay. So, again, the resources I shared with you, number one, I talked about the more immediate. So, if you need a help immediately, you're having thoughts of harming yourself. Okay. That you need to take immediate action. So, nearest emergency hospital room, police, letting them know it's a mental health emergency, 988, you can call or text, okay, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Other resources in terms of, I talked about first, pausing for yourself. That's a personal resource. Pause for yourself, pay attention to what your soul is saying to you about that job. If you can take a leave of absence, please do so, okay? And then other resources, therapy, I have a video in my description section talking about how to find a Black therapist. There's even resources available to you for free therapy for Black women. Okay. So, again, check that information in the description section. And coaching. So, coaching in terms of helping you, like you might be lost, you might not know what to do. I know when I was on a leave, I didn't know what to do, but my good friend told me about a business coach, a Black woman business coach. And I started working with her. Okay. So now I've had multiple Black women business coaches, and I would not be here where I am without Black business coaches and my therapists, okay, and the support that I've received from family and friends. So, again, so coaching's available for you, and then the master class is an option for you. So the master class, again, is Save Yourself, Channel Your Inner Harriet, so that you can leave that toxic hustle job with your sanity and your coins, okay? So that's June 27th, 28th. If you are not able to go to the masterclass live, maybe you have something to do, maybe you're working, if you miss it. So let's say these dates have passed, you're seeing this in the future, you will still be able to access the replay. So you just click the link and you will have access to both dates of the masterclass, okay? So as we're winding down, I invite you to be open to the resources that I'm sharing with you. Okay. Closed fist doesn't get you anywhere. Okay. Be open to receive. And I want you to know there is a way out. And I'm trying to share with you ways out. There's many ways out. Okay. be open. And I really ask you to share information with other Black women who are in a similar situation. There's so many of us out here, it's unbelievable, okay? I've not met a Black woman who has not had some type of toxic work experience, okay? There's so many of us. So for your Black women that you know, your sister friends, please share this video with them too, because we want to help them heal. We want to help lift them. So as you are healing, as you are finding resources, as you are following up on resources, reach back and help your sister too. Okay, that's what I'm doing with my work. That's why my business is called Lifting as We Climb. So as I'm moving forward, as I'm continuing to heal, I will continue to reach back. I'll continue to uplift other Black women in this healing journey because I know you deserve better and I want you to be better. Okay. So be open. Okay. So if you've gotten to this point in the video, please like the video. Please give it a thumbs up. And like I said before, please share this video with other Black women. And if you're interested in the masterclass, click the link and get on the masterclass, okay? There's a way out. We got the resources for you, okay? So if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Lifting As We Climb Consulting Wellness Services. Take care. Bye-bye.